He's about 9,000 pounds right now, you guys.
Jesus.
Yes, he's quite a big boy. But he is down about 1,000 pounds from his usual weight. He is going through must right now. So must is a period of time where male elephants, their testosterone levels go way up. They get a lot more aggressive. You can tell he's in must because of the staining on the sides of his face and cheeks. He is leaking temporin from his temporal glands. That's a good way to tell he's in must. Later on in the day, when you see him out of the water and all dry, you might also notice his legs still look really wet. That's because he's constantly dribbling. That's the other way you can tell he's in must. So because he is in must right now, we do have all three boys separate, but that is not always the case. We're kind of unique in that we have been running our bull elephants together. Most of the time when you see zoos and they have big herds of elephants, or on TV if there's a herd of elephants, they are a family herd, so they'll be mostly females, mothers, their daughters, children, grandmothers, and sisters. But if they have a baby boy in the herd, once he gets to a certain age, he gets too rambunctious for the herd, and they say, well, we love you, but you're kind of making us nuts, so we're gonna have to kick you out. So we used to think that those boys would then live pretty solitary lives for the rest of their lives. But we've actually found that they will form loose bachelor herds, and that's kind of what we have here at the Denver Zoo. We have our bachelor herd. So some days you may see them separate, but there will be days when all three of them will be in some yards together. We might have two of them in yards together. So it just kind of mimics what would happen to them in the wild. But you guys can applaud for him at any time. He's doing a pretty good job with that indoor pretty quick there. Wasn't too hard. It is a really hot day, so maybe that made it a little bit easier on him. As he's swimming around, it is deep enough that he can swim. They do a little bit of a doggy paddle, and in the wild, they are great swimmers. They've been known to swim from island to island. They'll swim across deep rivers. And he can hit the bottom a little bit, so he might also be walking. But our youngest, for sure, he's only about 8 feet tall, and this water can be 10, 11 feet deep, so he does have to swim. The way you can tell Bodhi apart from our other elephants is by the thinness of his tusks. So Gaucho's our oldest, he's 47, and when elephant tusks grow, they grow longer as well as out. So because Bodhi is younger, his tusks are still pretty thin. And he also doesn't have any flat edges to his tusks because we have not had to trim his tusks ourselves. He shortens them himself. So that's why he looks like he has a bit of a slanted edge to some of his tusks, and that's usually a good way to tell Bodhi apart. Bodhi's also much taller than Billy, and he's a lot leaner than Groucho, so that's a good way to tell him apart from the other two bulls.
So cute.
So what you're seeing right now between Bodhi and Danny is a bit of a training session. So we did get him into the water. That was part of our training. We've been trying new ways to get them into the pool than just hosing them off and see if they want to go in. We've been giving them a lot of reinforcement from the rocks over here, hoping they'll step in from that side. But the training philosophy here at the Denver Zoo is operant conditioning with positive reinforcement. And I know those are a lot of big words, but basically what that means is if Bodhi chooses to participate with us today, all good things are going to happen. Notice I said chooses to participate. If Bodhi didn't want to be here with us today, he wouldn't have to be. He could be out in the yard kind of exploring, but he was kind of waiting up here before we got here, so he knows what time it is, and he knows that if he comes up here and hangs out with us, then he's going to get rewarded if he does the right behaviors. We do call them behaviors. They're not tricks. Nothing here that we teach our elephants is really, its main purpose is not for entertainment, it's for their medical training. So everything they do is a behavior they would do in the wild. If you see Bodhi kneel, he would do that in the wild to dig for roots, find something good to eat, maybe play around a little bit with some logs or something. But here it does help him participate in his own health care. So with a behavior like kneel, he is about 10 feet tall. It's kind of hard to see the top of his head sometimes. So if we ask him to kneel, it helps him get down on our level. We can check out his skin, make sure he doesn't have any bumps, bruises, or scrapes. If we ask for a behavior like what he's doing now, opening his mouth, we can check out his teeth. Elephants have 4 molars. They're about the size of a 5 to 7 pound brick. And they do have 6 sets of teeth, so they will lose their teeth throughout their lifetime. They fall out in pieces. And they don't come in like our teeth do. They don't come in from the top or the bottom. They actually come in from the side like a conveyor belt. So getting him to open his mouth like that, let's just take a look in his mouth, make sure his teeth are falling out in a healthy way. And make sure that there's nothing unusual, no cuts or scrapes inside his
Devin's
mouth.
right here.
We use our training to help the elephants participate in things like blood draws.
No,
We'll take
you're not allowed to
x-rays of
cross
their
this.
tusks. We have trimmed the tusks of the other two boys. So there are all sorts of medical things that they can do just by participating in the training. If they don't want to participate or they don't do the right behavior for training, that's fine. They don't get punished. We don't tell them no, we don't yell at them, we don't force them in any way. Like I said, he's 9,000 pounds. It'd be pretty hard to force him to do anything, right guys? He's pretty big and I don't want to get in the way of him and whatever he wants to do. But even if he does the wrong behavior up here at the peninsula for Danny, you're probably not even gonna know. Because Danny's not gonna yell at him, she's not gonna show any signs that he's doing something wrong. She's just gonna ignore him and move on to a simpler behavior to make sure she can reward him for something. Danny has two tools with her right now. She has a whistle and a bucket of treats. Whenever Bodhi does the right behavior, he will hear that whistle, and that whistle just tells him, that's exactly what I wanted, good job, here comes your reward, and then she'll toss him some goodies. So we do get a few questions about what kind of elephants we have here. Does anybody know if Bodhi is an Asian or African elephant?
Africa.
That's right, he is an Asian elephant. There's a couple ways you can tell Asian and African elephants apart. Go ahead and applaud him, guys. That's another great form of positive reinforcement for him, especially Bodhi. He loves to hear that. But the ways you can tell Asian and African elephants apart, one of the best ways is by their ears. Asian elephants have smaller ears. If you take a look at Bodhi's here, they are a lot smaller. They're in the shape, some people say, of the country of India. African elephants, their ears are much larger, and some people say they're shaped like the continent of Africa. So that's a really easy way to remember that too. Yeah, and that behavior is not easy, guys. Like I said, 9,000 pounds up and down like that, he's doing wonderful. Another way you can tell Asian and African elephants apart is the tip of their trunk. You'll notice there's a prehensile digit at the end of Bodhi's trunk. He just has one. If he were an African, he would have two. He'd have one on top and one on bottom, and those that trait helps show the differences between their feeding styles. So Asian elephants are more likely to scoop their food up, and African elephants are more likely to pick it up with their trunk. Another way to tell them apart, if you look at Bodhi's face, now that he's wet, he does look like he has a freckling pattern there. It's also on his shoulders a little bit. African elephants don't have that loss of pigmentation. They'll just be one solid color, while Asian elephants do have that rather pretty so we do get questions about why we have Asian elephants and not African elephants. And the biggest reason for that is because of the conservation need of Asian elephants. African elephants are threatened. Their numbers aren't great. There's about 300,000 of them left. And that's in large part due to the ivory trade, which I know is something that we all think doesn't really happen anymore. But the US is actually the number two importer of illegal ivory. So one big way you can help African elephants is to not buy ivory. It's as simple as that. Make sure, especially if you're a traveler, that anything you're buying, souvenirs, a lot of times ivory will be marketed as something else, but it will be ivory. So you just gotta be a conscious traveler and know what you're purchasing is really what it is and not secretly ivory. But Asian elephants, as I said, they're a lot worse off. So for some reference, do we have any Broncos fans out there today? I see a couple hats. Yeah, there's a few of you. But when that stadium is sold out, that's about 77,000 seats. There are half as many Asian elephants left in the world as there are seats at that stadium.
Aww.
There's not a lot of them left. So the best way you can help them out is by learning about the palm oil industry. So has anyone here heard of palm oil? I see a couple hands, that's good. So what palm oil is, it's a product that's found in a lot of cosmetics and foods. In order to produce palm oil, they are destroying a lot of the habitats in Asia for these guys and for greater one-horned rhinos, clouded leopards, orangutans. And a big way you can help them out is by going to your pantry and finding just one item that does have palm oil in it and changing it out for an item that has sustainably sourced palm oil or no palm oil at all. And the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo has actually made this really easy. If you go to the App Store, they have created an app. It is free. And if you download that to your phone, you can take it with you to the grocery store and scan some barcodes. And it'll tell you whether the item you're about to buy has palm oil in it, sustainably sourced palm oil, or no palm oil at all. And if every single one of us changed out just one item in our pantry, we'd be helping these guys out so much. Not just these guys, but every animal you're going to see in the Toyota Elephant Passage today. But one of the ways you are currently helping out these guys is just by coming to visit the Denver Zoo and talking to us about them, learning about them and their conservation needs. So we'd like to thank you all for coming out today. A special thanks to our hometown trailer stores. And if you guys want to come up and ask us some more questions, we love talking about these guys. All of us are going to hang out here at the glass. So come on down, ask any questions you have. We've heard them all. And if you don't know, we'll find someone who does know. But if we don't get to talk to you today, we know there's a lot to see at the zoo. So we do hope you have a great rest of your day at the Denver Zoo where education comes alive. Thank you so much, you guys.